I am appealing to your altruism. Welcome back to Pearly Day for Talking Spirit Leaves. Donations of any amount will be greatly appreciated because I am the universe, and the universe will fight against those who fight against me. So, making a donation will bring you great blessings and wonderful tidings. So, again, make a donation of any amount to my charities using Zelle. Good morning and welcome back to Talking Spirit Leaves. If you're watching me or listening to me on Buzzsprout, it would be Talking Spirit Leaves. If you're watching this video on YouTube, it will be Pearly Day. So, these talks are sponsored by Talking Spirit Leaves and your charitable contribution. So, go over to Buy Me a Coffee / Talking Spirit Leaves and make a donation of any amount will be greatly appreciated, or you can use Zelle. The code I put up there on YouTube, asnowxac1@gmail.com. Feel free to make a donation of any amount. Remember, what you put out will return to you. So make sure you're doing it with an open, pure, honest heart, because what you put out will return to you. So today's episode is going to be on the concept of good and evil. Now, the concept of good and evil can be defined in many ways by many different cultures and peoples in the world. But there's just a few things that I'd like to clear up. And what makes me qualified to clear it up is because of my experience. Okay, I'm gonna base this podcast on experience and experience alone. Now, some people seem to think that the concept of God cannot exist without the concept of the Satans, okay? Because Satan is more than just one fallen demon or one philosophy or one thought form or another. It's a great many legions. So a lot of people, even people who call themselves Satan worshipers, do not understand that they are not dealing with one entity, philosophy, energy, or whatever you want to call them. I call them spirits, because a fallen angel do not have a soul. Okay, so that means it's it's an incorporeal thing, along with archangels or angels who have not fallen. They are incorporeal. Okay, so people use concepts of titling so that the audience can understand key concepts about what is being said. Okay, we all know that God is spirit, and that great entity is the purest of pure. And having said that, you need to understand that an entity as pure as that can never intertwine, meet, live in the same spot, household, or body with something that is opposite. of what is pure and good. Okay? So people seem to think that God cannot exist without Satan. That is incorrect. That is incorrect. God can exist without anything living, corporeally or incorporeally. And that is not just my that is not just my opinion or my point of view. It is both truth and fact. Okay? In every, let's say, in every spiritual document from culture to culture has described Satan as a created being. Satan, or the Satans, were created by evil. Okay? Now, how evil got into the world? Well, two ways. It got into the world when the metaphor or the concept of Adam and Eve, and they gave evil a metaphorical name, the serpent or the apple. Those are metaphors, allegories to help the human mind understand that something actually happened that changed the dynamic of the world forever. Okay? So, that's where we are starting from. Okay? Satan is not evil. He bowed down to evil. Okay? So evil is probably which I don't know because I don't bow down to evil. Okay? So let me take a stab at it. So evil is probably something that was born out of an unnatural act. And remember, in one of the previous videos, I said once one evil spirit is born, they keep making all these other types of evil spirits. Once you allow one evil spirit in your spirit, he called his friends, so to speak. Now, that's just an explanatory way so that you can understand that once you bow down to evil, you have now opened the door for all kinds of unclean things to go on in your household, in your body, in your mind, in your emotions, in your community, your tribe. You have opened the door for all that to happen. Now, we should not strive to open the door to evil when it is already living and breathing in among us already. Okay? Now, history has shown us, both American history and, world history, really, both world history and religious history has shown us how the concepts of evil can take over. So, the idea that God needs evil, that is incorrect. That is incorrect. God does not need evil to exist. It is humans who keep that that concept alive. Okay, well, let me explain that. Now, to explain it, I have to take you back to the concepts of Adam and Eve, or the concept. Okay, let's start this. Sex is not something that God introduced into this world. That was introduced via the serpent. He introduced it to Eve. Okay? It's no secret, people. I mean, really, if you just, now with technology, you should be able to pull up documents from different religions, different parts of the world, and compare them and come up with your own conclusions about what has happened. There is no excuse now for a person not to be able to follow me on these podcasts or in these videos, because you have something called Google, DuckDuck, Bing, that can help you pull up any concept from any culture around the world. And you should take the time to familiarize yourself with what has happened in the world so you understand where this world is going. Okay? Now, no one is an expert, and I can't see the future, but still I try to arm myself with as much knowledge spiritually as I possibly can, because make no mistake about it, everything in this realm is spiritual. What you eat, what you think, who you allow in your space, who your friends are. And if your friends aren't solid, then one of the Satans can take them over and wreak havoc in your life. So I shut that door. So a lot of people seem to think that God, the God of Abraham, Isaac, the God of Moses, the God of Jesus, they believe that the entity who created this world needs evil to stand. That is incorrect. Now, I relate more when some cultures say, well, when they're speaking to about good and evil, they'll say, oh, the right hand of God and the left hand of God. Okay, I can relate to that because God made it all, the right and the left. Okay? Did God not create angels and gave them free will? Those who chose poorly became demons. Those who chose rightly became beautiful archangels. Please believe that. So the concept that God needs evil is incorrect. God allowed evil to stand because of, how can I say, if he were to destroy, let me explain like this. I believe, this is just my point of view. It's not fact, it's not truth, it's just my opinion. If you have evil in the world, that evil is connected to someone who loves it. And that someone who loves the evil and love God is why that evil is able to stand. Believe that. You have an ornery child running around here doing homosexuality, kill, stealing, and destroy. Well, you love that child, but you are a God-fearing, God-loving mom or dad. It is God's grace on you that your child is still existing. That's just an example now. And it's the best way I can explain it. And furthermore, when you're sitting watching the news and you see all these natural disasters, people being killed by police officers and this, that, the first thing a God-loving, God-fearing person is gonna say is, "Oh my Lord, please help these people." Those words coming from a righteous man or woman is very effective. Now, you don't know why that entity tore down that person's house, burned it down, or caused it to explode. You don't have all the spiritual information, but your heart is, "Oh God, please help these people. Please help." And God hears that. And you don't realize that you have just helped someone who actually turned against God, did something against God, and actually deserved that. But when a righteous person say a prayer for you, it really does avail much. But you have to be a righteous person, and you need to be careful about whom you ask to pray for you. I don't pray for people unless they specifically know who I am, or they ask me to pray for them. And especially when I was younger, I would see natural disasters and stuff happening to people, and I would be like, "Lord, please, God, please." There you go. See, I had to learn how to pull that back, because the truth of the matter is some people just do not deserve to be saved. And once you realize that you are a righteous person, and righteous doesn't mean you're better than anybody, you think you're better than anybody. That's not what that means. That means that you have a sure connection to the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, just as sure as Adam did, Noah, Methuselah, Melchizedek. All those are white lighters. Just as sure as they did, you or I have that same connection. Okay. So I hope I've been clear on why evil still stands in this world. See, and you have righteous people doing that, which I'm not saying is good or bad, but I'm just trying to explain to you, one, why God does not need evil, and two, why evil still stands in the world. Okay? Now, we all know that unholy people finesse their way into power all the time and profess themselves as holy. Well, you might want to ask a few questions, okay? And I've already told my followers the questions that you should ask. And if they can't answer that one question, then you might as well leave them alone, okay? Tried and true concepts. Doesn't matter. A person running a mega church doesn't make them righteous. People getting on video saying, "God told me to tell you." God would not tell anybody to tell me anything, because God will tell me himself. Why would I need another human to tell me what God said? If I want to know what God said, I have several different Bibles from several different cultures. And Bibles come in different versions, and I can go find out what God is saying to me myself. Okay? Now, to be a tarot card reader is really not a spiritual concept. You do not have to be spiritual or religious or righteous to read tarot cards. You don't. Anybody can read tarot. Believe that. So, and you have people saying, oh, I'm not religious, I'm spiritual. Tarot card reading does not make you spiritual. Talking to people and collecting information, that doesn't make you spiritual. So you're talking to people and collecting information and then getting on a channel and spewing it out. You're empty. You have no spiritual connection at all. Because if you did, you would not have to pretend to be someone and have a conversation with them online and collect information about person A and then get on whatever platform you're on and talking about it as if the cards are telling you. You are fake. You are fake and you have no real skill. Okay? Now, I am a white lighter. I have never done black magic, and I have never spoken anything evil into existence. I have never done that. But the concept of God needing evil, or they'll say evil, they'll say Satan, they'll say the devil. They don't even know what those concepts mean. Each one of those does not mean what they think it means. Okay? And I believe that people should know the truth so that they may make an informed choice. Okay? So my next podcast is going to be on free will, because free will, people got a really mixed up misconception about free will. Okay? And that will be one of my next podcasts. But to answer the question, no, God does not need evil, the devil, or Satan to survive. It is the righteous people that he loves that is allowing that to stay, that is allowing that to stand. Okay? So, I like to add that once you continue to allow inequality, racism, evil to go on, they eventually want to take over the vineyard. Okay? Oh, well, that doesn't have anything to do with me. That's not your, well, you're allowing evil to take over the vineyard. Okay? The vineyard can be anything, the world, your life, your house, your whatever. Your emotions, your intellect. Okay? So let us think rightly. Let us seek to exclude evil out of the vineyard. That is what I said. Let us seek to exclude evil out of the vineyard. You can't pray for an evil person. Once he takes that energy and becomes stronger, he or she will turn on you or make matters worse. So my message here today is, one, the God of creation doesn't need you, me, Satan, evil to survive. It is his love for people like me that allow evil to stand. Okay? So I'm going to go ahead and shut this down. We've been talking for 24 minutes. So please feel free to make a donation. You can use Zelle in the code asnowxac1@gmail.com. Or you can go over to Buy Me a Coffee and donate to Talking Spirit Leaves, which that is my sponsor. So thank you and have a wonderful day. And you've been watching Pearly Day for Talking Spirit Leaves. Bye.